What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Gallivant Gals podcast. I'm Angelica.
And I am Natalie, and we're so excited today. We have Kerri on again.
Welcome back, Kerri.
So
glad to be here.
today, we're so happy to have you. I have been waiting to talk in detail about your trip to Europe this summer, and she went with the one and only supplier with AmaWaterways. And so, Kerri, why don't you tell us a little bit about Ama?
Well, I'll start with talking a little bit about European river cruises in
Yes.
general, and how they compare to your typical ocean liner cruise that we're all familiar with. Of course, your ocean cruise liners are huge, getting bigger all the time, versus the river cruises, which are very small ships. They tend to be 150, 200 max capacity, and they're narrow, and it's just a lot more intimate. It's a lot less entertainment, a lot more just luxury, and it's more about the experience of visiting the locations that you're going to see. They have river cruises all over the world, primarily in Europe. Europe is the biggest market for river cruises, but they also have them in South America. Ama has
Africa.
even a Nile. Yes, Africa. They have a
Yes.
Nile river cruise. What is that? That's funny.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No, it's you just do two thumbs up and it does
No,
the
it does the
fireworks.
fireworks. Oh, well.
No, you
It's
just
supposed
gotta
to
do
do
the two
fireworks.
thumbs up. It's one up and,
Oh, wow.
and then
Okay. Squirrel.
Squirrel. But anyway, they
The
have,
places.
and they have a safari. Anyway, all over the world.
Asia, like I want to do the one through Thailand,
yes, Asia.
Vietnam.
There's one in Cambodia. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have a question about river cruises because
Okay.
I've never been on one and I am not super familiar with them, but I have been on like regular ocean liner cruises. So this is coming from somebody who knows nothing. When you stop at these destinations, like is it a same day destination like it is with an ocean liner where you know debark like early in the morning and then you have to be on by like a certain time like in the afternoon to leave, or like are there opportunities for overnight stays at some of these locations that you stop at?
Typically, it's one day at a location, but there are locations where you do stay overnight.
Okay.
So it just kind of depends on the cruise that you're on the itinerary. But typically, yes, you're stopping at more locations. There are more excursions, and actually, typically the river cruises are a little longer. You don't have like the 3 and 4 day cruises. These are 7 days are generally the shortest that you're going to do, because they have to get like from one end of from
A country.
you're going from one country to another, so they're a little longer, but you do see a lot more destinations. So the one that we did in May was, as we said, on AmaWaterways, which is one of the top river cruise operators
I think that
in
they
the
are like
world.
the cruise operator, like for river cruises.
Yeah. A lot of people are more familiar, have heard of Viking. I think Viking tends to, I think they tend to advertise a little bit more, and they're sort of similar. I think that perhaps Ama is a notch above, but
we'll get to that because I do want
we'll get to that.
Yeah, I want to get to that down the road.
Yes, but the one we did was on the Rhine River. It began in Basel, Switzerland. We flew into Basel and stayed there for 2 days. Got on the cruise ship, which was super easy. It was so easy to find. It was so easy to get on. I mean, the customer service, it's incredible. It's just absolutely incredible.
When you went, Kerri, did you use
Mhm.
them from airport to, or, did they pick you up at the airport or did you stay at a hotel
In our
before?
case, we did not do that. However, they do have options. You can book airfare and all of, shuttle services, all of that right through AMA. It's it is completely seamless. They handle everything if that's what you choose. They also
Yeah.
offer before and after packages that you can add on that are optional. And as I said, we started in Basel, Switzerland. We ended in Amsterdam. So there were options where we could choose their packages for beginning and ending. We didn't do that because, as I said before, I've got a lot of experience in Europe, and it was no problem for me to
Yeah. To navigate it
find a
on your
hotel,
own.
navigate that on my own. I went with my mom and my sister. We did a Mother's Day kind of girls trip. It was so much fun. We just we were treated like queens. It was phenomenal. It was so great. I mean, I'm telling you, the customer service on this thing was unreal. So, um, I'll talk a little bit about that first. My sister is vegan and she doesn't drink alcohol, and so she's like test case for dietary
Yeah.
restrictions. And I'm telling you, she had the best food out of anybody because every single one of her meals, the maitre d' comes to her, finds her in the restaurant, is like, "Oh, ma'am, what would you like for your next meal? We can do this, this, and this. The chef has this, this, and this they can do." And she would choose. It was
Sounds like I need to
unreal.
start faking some food allergies.
I'm
Like,
serious. But the food that my mom and I had, which we just chose from the menu, so good. And they are known for their food and their cuisine. They work really hard to choose like local ingredients and really incorporate a lot of the, you know, cuisine and the local ingredients from each area that you're in. For instance, like we would be in France and we would get French wines and French, you know, cuisine and things like that. Then we went to Germany and we would get German beer and German Riesling and things like that offered to
How
us. So it
well, and
fun.
was,
I don't know if you know this, but we did learn this at Travel Leaders that a lot of it is like it's even though it's like sourced locally, like it's usually like small batch. So
yeah.
it's kind of your I guess mom and pop places, so to
Mm,
speak. It's not like these big name brands that come out of, Germany or Switzerland or
for
France or
sure.
whatever. They try to locally source and support small business. We did learn that at Travel Leaders, which I thought was amazing. So
Yeah.
you not only
Yes.
have this gigantic company, but they're also locally and ethically sourcing their, whether it's their cuisine or their alcohol selection or whatever. It's I really appreciated that about them because, well, and we'll get
Yeah.
into it later, but the ethics of this company is
Hmm.
just
Yeah. And
hands down just
they're family
incredible.
owned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can tell it's very reflected in their, I mean, just sort of the culture that you get from, the people on the cruise was
Yeah.
just, it was very much, I mean, you could just tell that they enjoyed their jobs. They, you know,
Oh yeah, a
they,
hundred
yeah.
percent. Well,
Hmm.
like the whole family was there at Travel
Oh,
Leaders,
really? That's amazing.
and they were up on the stage. And I'm telling you, what's the main lady's name?
I was just
Natalie.
thinking, I have like a girl
I,
crush on her. She is
I know
my favorite.
she is so
She is
stinking cute.
so cute. Her accent.
Her accent is to die for. Like she is just the sweetest thing I have. I could just like squeeze her. I mean, they were just so genuine and so happy, and you can tell everyone loved what they did. And she was one of, I mean, just one of the most contagious personalities I think I've ever seen on a stage. And like, you could not help but just like be
I mean,
in
I was
awe
giddy
of,
when she was.
I know,
I'm like, oh, there
like
she is.
here was
Jesus.
Natalie, like her. So we were all sitting
Natalie.
at this round table, and Natalie, I kid you not, she had her hands on her chin like this,
I
and
don't
she was
remember
just like,
that. I don't remember that, but I remember
Oh,
telling
it's
you guys that
good.
I was so excited because
and
I
then
wasn't
she
expecting her to be there, but it was
leans
really cool to
over
see
and
her
she
on
goes,
stage.
love her. And
That's
Oh
why I love
gosh,
AmaWaterways is because of her.
because of her.
I
Yeah.
know, she's
Well, now you've
Uh,
amazing.
got to go on a
yeah.
I
river
I'm
know, I
going
cruise.
to.
know.
I'm going to. In fact,
Yeah.
at the end, I'll tell you what one I want to go on. I'm sure I've already told you, Kerri,
Well, I'll
but
tell you my
I'll
next one I'm going on. I'll tell
okay.
you.
I have the one
You
that I
already
Um,
have
want
it
to go on.
planned?
no, but in my head.
Yeah.
In my head,
Me too, in my head.
I bet I
One
can
I have
trip
guess
at a
which
lots of
time.
one.
trips in my head.
Oh
I bet
gosh,
I
right?
bet I
This
can
is the
guess the one
problem.
that you both want to go on.
Well, we'll
I
see.
bet
We'll see.
I bet we
Oh, you probably know.
I
I've
bet I
talked about
can.
it, but
I don't think
Does
so.
it involve Christmas?
oh no, stop! We're not supposed to talk about it.
Okay, so now we
Let
have
me
to
see if
talk
I
about
could.
it.
Now we have to talk about it.
Yes.
Okay,
So, one of the
I
best things they offer are these Christmas cruises, and you
market.
go to the Christmas markets all over Europe. I am dying to
I'm not
see
over
to go.
exaggerating. I have watched probably, I don't even know, so many YouTube videos of all the Christmas markets. I know
Yeah.
exactly what ones I want to go to. And I want to do the AmaWaterways because it has the itinerary I want to do. It stops at Strausenberg,
As
it
I could
stops at
guess.
Cologne. Oh, I think that's how you pronounce these places, but
Yes, yes, that's right. Well, Joel and I, my husband Joel and I, that's our one of our travel souvenirs is everywhere we go we get an ornament. Like
yes,
our
Same.
yeah, like our ornament collection is crazy.
I'm
So,
sure.
and even on this trip that I did, I got an ornament almost everywhere. Almost every single place we went.
That's
It
awesome
was
though.
awesome. It was
Which
so
you'll
fun.
have to
But
tell
to
us, but
go at Christmas time, like just,
Yeah.
yes,
I mean, just, ugh.
it's going
Yes,
to
I
be
can't wait.
To
magical.
me,
I
it's like
will
a
do it.
Hallmark movie, but like not a Hallmark
But
movie. Like,
European.
yeah,
Oh,
like you're not a sad, like you haven't lost your bakery, and like you're not going on a
right.
cruise to try to find yourself and find true love. You already
Or
have
find a
true
prince.
love. You're going
It's just,
because we are middle-aged women who just want to feel the joy of Christmas in freaking
right.
Europe.
Yes, that's
Like,
it.
come on. Who doesn't?
Yes,
And
Who doesn't want
if
that?
you say that you don't, you're a Scrooge. All I'm saying.
You say that you don't, you're wrong.
Exactly.
exactly. They don't know what they're missing.
You
That's
just
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying. But I
Yeah.
do want to go back to you get checked in on your cruise.
Okay,
And
yes.
what room category did you guys stay in? And was there any particular gift in your room for you?
There was. But yeah, we actually stayed in the lowest room category, which is the D room category. It's on the bottom of the ship and it just had a little small some small windows up top and it was great. But all three of us agreed. Um I don't I mean, I don't know that I really feel like I need to be in the larger rooms. I mean, maybe if I had been there with my husband instead, it
Yeah.
would be different. But for us, it was plenty big enough, and the bathrooms were really, we felt like they were really ample comparatively to, a cruise ship.
Oh, yeah.
Um, they were fabulous. Like it was very nice. Everything was in there. So one of the great things about AMA Waterways is that all of the excursions are included in the price. On the other,
Oh.
yeah, on the other river cruises, that's not. They might have one, that's available.
So
And
all of
then
the
they'll have
excursions are
upgrades, but
included.
all of the excursions are included, and They have in each room, you'll find your audio guide and all of your equipment that you can just take with you whenever you go on your tours. You just select, they have an
So
ample list of,
what's an audio guide?
like the handset that you have the earpiece, and then when you follow your guide around wherever you're going, you can hear them. They have a microphone and you can hear them. So
Gotcha.
you can sort of wander at your own pace. You don't have to stay right next to the guide to
So
hear
you
their
can
tour. It's
hear.
it's
Yeah.
very nice.
Really neat. I've
Um,
never even heard of there being like an audio guide. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And they really have it figured out. um, there were a lot of choices in terms of the tours that you could do. They're very focused on active
Yeah.
travel. So they had bikes, actually. There was a certain amount of bikes are on every cruise ship, and they will have bike tours. If not at every stop, most of the stops, there is a tour option that is a bike tour. My sister and I did one, and it was so much fun. We biked around Strasbourg, France. I mean, it was super charming. Like,
Did
you
your
couldn't
bike
tell
have a basket? Like I need to know, did it have a basket?
it was. We had to wear helmets too, and I mean, I'm all for bike safety,
That's
don't get
not
me wrong, but
whimsical.
it kills the Instagram.
Kills the
You know what I
vibe.
mean?
Because like I imagine Kerri just like biking through France with a wicker
Yeah.
basket on the front
I
of her bike full of like fresh French flowers and a baguette
Well,
and a
and in your
beret, not a
room,
close.
helmet.
it
Close.
comes with your AmaWaterways scarf. So you need to add
True.
your AmaWaterways
Yes.
scarf to your
Yes.
Viking excursion.
They
On
do
the
have
waterway scarf,
they do.
Natalie.
They give you an AmaWaterways scarf. Or I think there's like two options, two choices you get to choose. Like, but we got the scarves, and oh my gosh,
Isn't it like a
there's
pashmina scarf?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so nice. It's so nice. Um, we were
Were
just
they
like,
giving those
ooh.
away at
They were giving them away at Travel Leaders. We didn't know it. And
Yeah.
that booth was so full with people all the time that we kind of like, okay, it's just too full. We didn't even stand in the line to go there. And we should have because they were giving scarves out. But anyways, go on. I could have had a
So,
scarf, dang it.
oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention about the
rude?
excursions is they have all different activity levels.
I was gonna
So,
ask that because like I
yeah,
am not, and I shouldn't say I'm not a biker, but I do have a certain health condition that limits me as far as like
sure.
what activity levels that I can do because of my heart. And so what like could you maybe give us a couple of options that maybe you had on your cruise, like as
Oh
far as
yeah.
the activities and stuff goes of what you had?
Every excursion had a number of activity levels. So now there are certain excursions like hiking, there are certain hikes or the certain or bike rides, for instance. That's going to be, what that
More
excursion level is.
adventurous, yeah.
Right. But then the walking tours, things like that, they're going to have different levels. They're going to have um, moderate, or I can't remember what the
Intermediate,
terms they
beginner.
used,
Okay.
but basically they're trying to accommodate everyone. Accessibility is a big consideration. Everything is accessible on the ship. They have elevators and things like that. So yeah, you're no matter who, no matter how, you're going to be able to have an excursion for you, for your needs.
And it's all
So
included in the price.
all included in the
Mm-hmm.
price. Yes.
Yep.
That's
And then,
amazing.
Kerri, I think I did ask you this before, but did you have to book those before you went?
No, you did not actually. You could. They have an excellent app that we use to um, look through the information, look through the different excursions and ports of call, things like that. But and we actually did choose ahead of time just so
Yeah.
we could kind of have. But
Plan.
there's actually I think the first night or second night they have a meeting. They go over all the different excursion options, and it's a Q&A, and so you can make your final selections at that time, and you know,
So I have a
let them know.
question. So, because like I said, I've only been on like an oceanic cruise. So, we have like our days at sea or whatever. With a river cruise, do you have as much time, I guess, like on the boat, so to speak, like a day at sea? Or is it kind of one thing right after the other, like when you're in terms of like your ports of call, I guess, if you
Mhm.
will?
It's a little bit more varied. I feel like because you're going to more destination, it, everything's a little bit closer. So you're going from one destination to the other. It might just take, a few hours, something like that. So you might get there midday, or you might get there in the middle of the night. But um, there is time at when, because you're going to be riding down the river at different times of day, different times of night, that you can see. Now, one of the main features of the Rhine River cruise is a section of the river. It's actually a UNESCO heritage site. And there are over, I can't even remember how many at this point, like over 40 or something castles. And so they encourage everybody to go up top to the deck, and over the loudspeaker, they are telling you all about the different castles that you're seeing. They give you a map and everything. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Like, you
Oh,
see so much. And then at the end of that, you dock, and then you get to go tour one of the castles. So, oh yeah, it was so cool. So cool. That
Goals,
was
goals, goals.
Yes, that was a
so what
highlight for
what
sure.
castle did you guys get to tour? Do you remember the name of it?
Oh my gosh, it's something German and hard to pronounce. I don't
Something
remember what it's
German.
called.
German is so hard. Like,
So
Yes.
hard.
I'm
anytime I
not,
go to pronounce something or look at something, I'm like,
yeah.
yep, it's the one that starts with the F. I don't know.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I do not recall. But it was a smaller castle, but it was very cool. Um yeah, that was super neat. Absolutely. But yeah,
Do they do
there's
they
stretches.
I was gonna say, do they differ in which castle they stop at to tour? Do you know?
I mean,
Or
there's so many itineraries. I mean,
okay.
so many. Um so yeah, there, and sometimes you start from Amsterdam and go to Basel, and sometimes you go the other way, which is what we did. And then there's tours that take you down that river and the other river, and oh my gosh, there's just tons. The other thing I wanted to talk about was when we're talking about the food. As I said before, they're known for their food. It was phenomenal. What is included is, you've got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and you can have alcoholic beverages and sodas, whatever, at each meal.
Everything is included. That's what I love.
The only time that you have to pay additional is if you want a soda or um another type of beverage, like alcoholic beverage or something like that, at non-meal times. But they have coffee. They have tea and water stations everywhere. There's constantly snacks like being served. I mean, you're never going to want for anything, truly. If you don't want to spend any more money, like, you absolutely would not have to. Oh, this was the other thing that I wanted to mention. With my sister who doesn't drink alcohol, um, they have a cocktail hour every day. And so they're passing around champagne included, by the way. Um, they're passing around champagne, or they're passing around their cocktail that they serve of the day. And they would bring her, oh, would you like some non-alcoholic champagne, or would you like this mocktail or
Oh,
whatever? I
How
mean, they
nice
had
that they
so
took note.
many, oh yeah, they had so many choices for non-alcoholic beers, wines, spirits, all of it.
well, and I've
Like,
noticed a shift.
couldn't
Like
believe it.
that's becoming a big thing now. Is
It
like
is.
these mocktails and the
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
non-alcoholic, and like so like there's a big market for that, and so
Sure.
I'm sure that she was really appreciative, but like for people that don't drink, it was almost like, say, let's even say 5 years ago, it's like, what do you
Mm.
mean you don't drink? It was
Yeah,
weird,
it was like
Yep.
shunned.
but
Right.
but
Yes.
now, like, everybody is very accepting, especially like,
Yeah.
with, especially if it's like a sobriety journey or whatever. But like, even if it's not, like, for me and
Yeah.
Natalie, like, we don't drink, but it's by
It's
choice, it's
yeah.
just, we just,
And that's for her too.
yeah.
It's not like some kind of,
Yeah.
this or that. It's just she just doesn't drink. It's like,
This
okay,
was
great.
Well,
You're not going to be shamed during
yeah.
our
and so,
trip.
and
You're
I'm
like,
being offered something like as an alternative,
mm-hmm.
like a
so that
mocktail or
so that you
non-alcoholic.
still feel a part of the party.
Included.
You
Yeah,
Yeah.
still
I was
feel
gonna say,
like,
yeah, because
mm-hmm.
it almost feels like you're excluded when you're in like the non-drinkers club,
Exactly,
and so
exactly,
so that's really nice that they have made. I feel that's very intentional. Like, it's very intentional that everyone feels included. So that here is a
for sure.
menu for those who don't wish to partake in, cocktail hour or whatever. Let's come up with
Right.
some mocktails or whatever. And
Hmm.
it's not like you have to pay.
See, told you.
See, it's not like you have to pay
Mhm.
extra, or, oh, this
Right.
isn't included in the price. But
Hmm.
I just,
Yeah.
as someone, I appreciate that. I appreciate the feeling of inclusion when,
Hmm.
it used to be almost like an exclusion type of
Yeah.
vibe. So,
Yeah. It felt very inclusive, very much like we are here to serve you
yeah,
and whatever
you'll
your needs
probably
are.
go, that's what keeps customers coming back.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
definitely. Trying to think if there's anything else.
where did Natalie go?
I know.
Oh,
My phone, I plugged my phone into charge and it's like putting weight on it, so I'm going to unplug it now. But um I did want to note that
Mhm.
technically the clientele, the people that are on there are usually older. But I will say with AmaWaterways, they are starting to pull a younger crowd, and
Yes.
they, unlike Viking, so Viking is 18 and up. So it is adult only.
Yes.
Not like adult only, virgin adult only. Viking is a lot older demographic.
A lot
But
older demographic. Yes.
yes, AmaWaterways, they don't allow children under the age of,
mature demographic is what we'll go
yes,
with. Mature
Yes.
demographic.
mature. They don't allow kids under the age of 4, but they don't recommend them to take a river cruise till the age of 9. So I do love that children or kids are welcome on AmaWaterways, and AmaWaterways is the vendor for Adventures by Disney. So
Yes. Exactly.
yeah,
Yes. Hmm.
Oh,
um,
really? I didn't realize
yes,
that.
they
Hmm.
are. So
Yes. Any of
Okay.
the Adventures by Disney trips that incorporate
river cruise,
A
river
river
cruise,
cruise.
it's Alma Waterways. Yeah.
AmaWaterways. Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
That
Um,
that speaks volumes for them as a company,
yeah,
because
it
Disney is
does.
not going to partner with
mhm.
just
They do not.
anybody.
No, they
No.
don't.
And there's other river cruise companies out there.
I was going to actually
There's a
say
lot.
that there's one in particular I know that really cater to families and children. If
Mm-hmm.
anybody's interested, is Arosa.
So I have
Hmm.
tried looking into them to book. We technically can book, but there's some loopholes we need to jump through
Mm,
to fully be registered with them.
yes. But they do have, I believe, like family rooms that they offer and things like
They
that. So,
do.
oh, there's one more thing I would like to mention about
You
the
can't. I'm
Alma
sorry. I'm just
Waterways
kidding.
cruise ships. Actually, a
Horse.
couple of things. There are a couple of
Yes.
differences. We were talking about Viking. I want to
Yes, that was
compare the
Viking.
two.
Yes.
Because for anybody who has ever heard anything about River Cruise, you probably heard of Viking. And Viking does tend to pull a more mature demographic. It tends to be, and I say this, my mom went on a Viking cruise, my mom and dad, like, they're not, they're just 70. They're not super old. But she said, like,
Let's just throw their age out there. It's fine.
sorry, mom and dad. But she said that almost everyone was older than her on the Viking
Yeah.
cruise. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that was one of the things on our cruise. It tended to be certainly it was adults. We didn't have any kids. There
I don't
were
think
there were
often that
several
there's
groups
kids.
though that were like us, where it was like the mom and the daughter, or
Yeah.
they had their adult children with them, that kind of thing. It was a more mixed crowd. The other thing about the small size of the ship too was that we got to know almost
Oh, yeah.
everybody on that ship. I mean, it was
Yes.
unbelievable. We were sitting next to a different person, and everybody, there's just a feeling of,
We're
camaraderie,
in this
and
together.
yeah, it was so fun. It was like we got to know so many people. And it was so interesting getting to talk to everybody. We
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
that a lot.
definitely the cruise for you, Natalie.
I would
Oh
love
yes.
that.
Oh yes, Natalie, you would be
Little
loving it.
social butterfly.
Yeah.
I can
And
be,
I
but
had mentioned that they're very focused on health. So they have an onboard health, I don't know, what do you call him, but health guy,
Coach or guide or,
person,
okay.
staff member, who they have classes throughout the day. There is a little gym facility in there, which is like really cool. The equipment that they have. There are pools, heated pools on all of their ships, and on the upper deck there is a walking course. We had one of those large
So it's basically like
chessboards.
the YMCA, but on like the water.
Yeah, yes,
bougie though.
yes.
Bougie though.
Bougie YMCA, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had,
Nice.
classes like yoga, Pilates, stretching classes, different things like that throughout the day. I mean, it
Well,
was
that would be
great.
fun.
It
Mm-hmm.
was
Because
nice.
the views would be beautiful doing a
Mm-hmm.
yoga class.
Yes.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I am not trying to do no spin class while looking at the
Well,
river,
they didn't
okay?
they didn't
I'm
have
sure. Yeah.
spin
Yeah.
equipment, but it was more low key for sure.
Now,
But
what about the entertainment on board? Like, did
now, I
they
mean,
have stuff in the evening?
they do. They had some things. I will be honest with you. My sister, my mom, and I crashed into that
Oh,
bed
I'm
at
sure.
9 o'clock every night. We were done.
Yes.
We were, some of the younger ones, and boy, we
But you
were
probably were
asleep.
hitting it hard though when you're at the stops. You're probably out
Yes.
walking
Well, we
around
walking
and
tours and going
yes.
around. Yeah, we were.
Well,
And
that and
so,
you got to take into consideration the time difference of where you're coming from too. Your
well,
body is still trying to adjust, and
yes.
so it's listen, girl,
And
I'm a crawl in the bed at any time I
yes.
can. So,
Well,
I'm with
my sister
you.
and I are both mothers. We were like, I'm taking advantage of this excellent sleep
Yes.
that I'm about to get right now. So
Yes.
we did.
Were the beds comfortable?
They were, yeah, very comfortable. I slept fabulously. Um, but yes, there were some entertainment options after we went to bed.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I feel
and
like I heard that they do they locally, like when you're in Germany, will they sometimes have like German entertainment or something like that? I
Yeah.
feel like I
yes,
saw
they
that.
do. We had a staff member who was like the DJ, pianist, music guy.
Uh-huh.
And he was always there. Like he would just play the piano like during different times of, that we were on board, and or like DJ, I don't know, different songs. Like he was just there
He was the
for that
hype guy.
purpose. Yeah, he was a hype guy. And then I know that they had some different like theme nights in terms of like, as I said later on, maybe like DJ. I know they had a disco night.
Karaoke?
Oh,
I don't know if they had karaoke. I'm not sure. I'm not
I
sure.
Natalie
love
is
But I
it.
always
mean,
down for a good
I
karaoke
love
You
night.
karaoke. Oh, I
too.
love
You
karaoke.
too.
I am
I love
too. I
Angelica
am
karaoke.
too.
too. I love
Usually she's the
karaoke.
one. Angelica's usually the one dragging me up there, and she'll be like, "What about this song?" I'm like, "No, I don't think I know it like by heart." Like, I have to
I'm
be
the
super
I'm the
comfortable.
musical like one of the two of us. Like Natalie's the get out,
I
like
love
dance, go have
music though too.
fun. And I'm like I will sing until I can't
Oh no,
sing no more.
I
So,
trust me, I'm right there with you. Like yeah.
could you see us with a mature crowd on the AmaWaterways
We'd have so
singing
much fun.
singing
Absolutely.
scrub?
Oh,
The last
Oh,
karaoke
Scrubs.
night that me and Natalie went to, me and Natalie got up on the bar and we're singing Scrubs
It
by
wasn't a
TLC.
bar. It wasn't the bar. It was the
The
stage
stage,
at
sorry, the
the
stage.
bar. We were
The
not on
stage,
the
the
bar.
stage at the bar. We were singing Scrubs by TLC.
It was fun.
oh,
So,
that's a good one.
I mean, I'm sure us two, rowdy young ones in a crowd of mature, I
I don't
don't
know. The
know,
mature
girls.
ones, they'd probably run a pretty hard game. They would be,
Yeah, they seemed to on our ship
yes,
Mm.
anyway. They were
I think
definitely had
so.
more energy than I did for sure.
I feel like that I would fit in with the older crowd. Like that
Y'all
is
would have both had a good time.
I am
I
Golden
can tell
Girl
you.
vibes all day long. Like I'm Sophia, hands down. Like I feel like I would get along with everybody on the cruise ship, even though I'm not a people person. Like older crowded people, like older mature people
Mature.
though. Put me in,
Yeah,
coach. Put me
yeah.
in. Is there anything else that you want to include, Kerri, about AmaWaterways, that something like that maybe you were super impressed with, or um, maybe like a little, like what your favorite portion of your AmaWaterways cruise was?
I mean, definitely my favorite thing was the service. Oh, you know what? There is one, I will say a final thing to mention. I think it's the perfect
Oh,
for anybody who is maybe a little bit intimidated to plan a European trip.
oh,
If
yes.
Okay.
you have never
Yeah.
been to Europe before and you're like, I
Me.
really want to go to Europe, yeah, but I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
think it's a great way to do it because it
And
is end to end. I mean, it is
Yes.
I was
such
gonna
great
say, you get so
service.
many destinations. Like,
Yes,
and
and you
that's
get
me,
to
like,
see.
I've always wanted to go to Europe. But I
Hmm.
literally have no clue. Like, I say
Where to
Europe, but
start?
I'm like, I don't know where in Europe I want to go. And I'm like, I don't know the first thing about any of these places. Like, I mean, obviously now I know who I'm going to go to if I have questions, Kerri.
Yeah. Yes.
But I think, I mean, I'm excited just hearing you talk about it because I'm like, I would love to do this for mine and Jay's 20th anniversary. I mean, that's 5 years from now, granted. I would like to go sooner, but I feel like for a 20th anniversary, like for he and I never have traveled to Europe, I feel like this would be a great thing to
It's a great,
do
it
and
absolutely
a
is.
way to explore like multiple different places, but do
The
Without,
so
the other
in
great thing
luxury.
about the other great
yes.
thing about the river cruise is you're not just going to hit the big cities. So you're going to get a mix and you're going to see more small towns or, kind of tucked
And
away. And
that's what I want.
you get more of an authentic sense of the
Yeah.
location. And it's so much, I mean, there's so much quaintness and charm and just shopping around. Oh my gosh, I just love it.
See,
And
that's what I want to do. Like
yeah,
because I grew up in a small town. I want that small town feel. Shut up, Natalie.
yeah,
And
Raise your hand.
while I'm trying, and you never have to pack or unpack. You just get
right.
on the boat, on the ship, on the river cruise, whatever you want to call it, and unpack, and you don't have to unpack until you get off of the ship.
I
And
So
love that.
that's a
you
huge perk.
save time
Time.
because if you backpack or you travel around from city to city, you spend so much time traveling
Yeah.
checking
Yeah.
into a hotel, and then you can't check in until 3 o'clock, and then you've got to
Where are you
store
going to
your
put your
luggage,
stuff?
and then you've got to
Yeah.
get, you're spending so much time doing that that you lose a lot of
You've
time. Yeah.
sold me. You've sold
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm
Well, and then
sold.
you can
Sold.
see what destination you really like and where you maybe want to go
Mm-hmm.
back and spend some
Exactly.
Yeah.
significant time in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, and the
awesome,
fact that they make
awesome.
recommendations and stuff too, like that's, I mean, I love that. Like, I love that they have recommendations and give you a guide of you can do A, B, C, or D, like with the
Mm-hmm.
excursions, it's included in the
Yes.
price. So I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, time to start planning because like this is what I want to do for our 20th wedding anniversary. Like,
Yeah.
done.
Mm. Well, speaking of planning, Kerri, you said that you already had your next one already planned in your head that you want to do. So where would you like to go on your next AmaWaterways?
On the Christmas,
On
on the
the
Christmas
Christmas
market one. Yes.
So I have this is funny, and I'm totally calling my husband out. But so I went through this phase where I was obsessed with the Christmas markets and I was constantly watching YouTube videos and talking about it. And my husband goes,
Yes,
well,
she did
is it going to
because
be
she sent them to
cold?
me.
He's like, well, is it going to be cold? I said, yeah, it's going to be cold. It's Christmas. He goes, we
It'll
can't
be
go when it's
snowy
warm. I said, no, the Christmas markets. I think he thought the Christmas markets were like open like year round.
year
And I'm like,
round.
no. And actually, I was actually kind of surprised by this. Like here in the
I don't know
States,
that I didn't even think about that.
yeah, didn't cross his mind either. Now they have Christmas shops that are at all the
Yes.
places. Like Kerri, you went
Yeah.
to all the
That's where I
Christmas
went.
shops. But
That's
these
right.
markets are, they're only there at Christmas. But I
Mm-hmm.
was surprised by they actually run a very short period of time. Like here in the States, I feel like we start celebrating Christmas November 1st and we celebrate through January 5th. Like we keep our decorations up for a long time. Their markets don't start really till after Thanksgiving, like our
Yeah,
US traditional
it is.
Thanksgiving.
It
It's
Isn't it
is
the
like
much
end of
shorter.
it's
November.
usually like end of November, like December 1st. Well,
But
a lot
and they
of them,
close too before Christmas. Like
well, yeah.
so you
And a
gotta
lot of
make
them
sure you
don't put their
plan.
Christmas trees up until
Oh
Christmas
yeah.
Eve. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, Halloween is over. Like, okay,
It's
my
Christmas
my
now.
kids get done trick or treating and they come home, they take off their costumes and I am unpacking the Christmas trees from the basement. Like,
Yeah.
a happy Halloween, Merry Christmas, everybody. Like November 1st, it starts.
See, yeah. So
I
keep
feel
that in
like,
mind if you want to do a
okay.
Christmas market cruise. Is
True.
there a
Good
So
point.
you
short
have a
period of
very
time?
small window. Like, so it makes me wonder, do those fill up like really quick?
I
You know
don't
what? I need to go
know.
look.
Y'all
I feel
both
like
went,
yes.
like you just
Well,
had a
no,
realization.
I was
Like,
No, I've
looking.
thought about this.
Yeah, I have too. Because when I first started
time
looking,
is of the essence.
I was looking for Christmas of 2025, and there was already a few rooms that were already full. Like I wasn't the first person looking at December 2025.
Yeah.
Um, And when we were actually at Travel Leaders back in June, she said they were almost sold out for this year's Christmas market river cruises, that there was only a few little spots left. So I do think they book up quickly. I would
I think they do. Yeah.
100% book it far in
I bet you,
advance.
it makes me wonder how expensive they are.
They're not that bad.
No,
Honestly,
Really?
no, because
they're
I was
shorter.
looking. They're
Okay.
typically 7 days. I, again, this is as of right now, I remember it being around like 6 grand for two people. Um,
Okay.
but
That does not include airfare, but
no, does not include
yeah.
Right.
airfare.
Right. Right.
But honestly, if I count up how much money I freaking spent at the beach for 3 days this past time we went, it was
Truth.
ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
Truth.
Disney is 6 grand
oh,
easy.
Easy.
easy, easy.
And you're
Yeah.
getting, I feel
Especially
like so much more
if
like
you
for something like
add,
that.
if you booked a Disney trip, book it the highest. Let's say you book the Riviera, you have to get the dining plan because everything's included. You got to compare apple to apples, so you have to do
Right.
Riviera dining plan, and you better do a park hopper with all the options. You're
True.
looking at way more than 6 grand
Well, I'll tell
Oh
you this.
seven
yes.
So
7 days.
I was gonna say my clients aren't even going for 7 nights, and they're room only. Because they're having to do tickets separate because two of them are annual pass holders. Their room only for the 2-bedroom villa. This did not include park tickets from December 17th through the 23rd was $8,628
Yeah.
just for the room. That
So
does
they could
not
go to
That's
include
Europe for
surprising.
tickets.
that.
That
Yeah.
doesn't include tickets. That doesn't include Very Merry Christmas Party. That doesn't include any of that. That doesn't include
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, cruising is the way to go. But now I'm like, okay, maybe we'll do this sooner than our 20th anniversary. Like if you're
Yeah.
saying $6,000, I'm like, I might go next Christmas. Like our anniversary is December
Yeah.
22nd. So don't you play around with me in Christmas. Like I got more Christmas spirit than Santa Claus. Like straight up Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
love
The
it.
other cruise, the other, or I should say itinerary that I should mention is the Danube. The Danube is, I've heard it multiple times from multiple people. Like it's the river cruise. They have has one that is, I want to say 14 or 15 days, and it is supposed to be absolutely spectacular. I asked our cruise manager when I spoke with her, which is your favorite, all-time favorite? She said,
yeah.
this is the one. This is the one you do. If you are one and done, like this is the one you do. And it is it's a little bit off, I don't want to say off the beaten path, but it's not the places that you typically think. We're talking about like Budapest and Germany and like some of the Eastern European, like lesser, I guess, discussed
Yeah.
areas, but they're
Yeah.
beautiful.
Kind of
They're
like
just
your hidden gems
Prague,
almost.
yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit more hidden.
I was also today years old that I found out it was the Danube. I have called it the Danube River my entire life.
the the Blue Danube, isn't that a
Yeah.
song?
Oh, I don't know. I've just called it Danube because it sounded fun. So 35 years old and just learned it's called
That's
the
okay.
Danube River. It's
Fine.
fine.
There's
It's
always
fine.
more to learn. Always more to learn.
I'm always learning.
That's
I'm just
right.
glad I didn't come on here and be like, now have y'all heard of the one on the Danube River? Because then I would never be allowed to talk on a podcast again, ever.
Oh gosh.
So thank you for clarifying that for me, Kerri. So I
That's what
can
I'm here for.
pretend like I own a travel agency and know what I'm talking about.
But it's not your job to know all the things.
Oh,
It's your
it would,
job to hire people who
yes.
specialize in certain things, and there you go.
See, in that, th this industry, it would be so hard to know everything and to go everywhere.
There's no
There's
way.
And if
too many
someone
places.
claims to know everything, run because they
They
sure do
lie.
not.
They
They sure do
Yeah.
lie.
not. I learn
Yeah.
something new. Learn something new every day.
I
I never
wish
claim to know
I
everything.
wish I could know all the things. Like I want to, but there's just no way. Yeah.
But then
I
you'd
mean,
have no fun researching and learning new things. That's part
True.
of the
you wouldn't
fun.
get to go down YouTube rabbit holes like Natalie does.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
also do this. I mean,
Y'all were meant for each other. I ain't got time to YouTube it. I'm like, if it does not have a 5 second like booklet that I can read, count
Oh,
me
uh,
out. I ain't watching no YouTube
I'm a
tutorial.
visual. I need to see it and then I can do it.
I
I need
get
Like,
to
so
I need to read it and then I can do it.
I get so into the details. I
yes.
get obsessive. And so then I'm like, where's the YouTube video for this detail I need to know? I
Yes.
can't go unless I know. So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
am the same way. Same,
Are you
same.
a Hufflepuff, Kerri?
Ravenclaw.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
the facts, like the
Okay.
info.
Thank you,
Kerri,
Kerri.
thank you. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been
Absolutely.
truly a pleasure learning about AmaWaterways. I cannot wait to book my AmaWaterways cruise. If
Right.
you or a loved one an AmaWaterways cruise, you can contact us at sales@gallivantgalstravel.com.
And we'll probably refer you to Kerri. But remember to like, subscribe, and follow. And don't forget to hit that notification button.
Until next time.
Bye.